Okay, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, ma'am.
Yeah, what was the previous topic which I taught you? Do you remember? It is related to what we were talking about receipts, expenditure, and all. So, one area we finished. What is that? Aparna,
Ma'am, capital receipts.
capital receipts. So, capital receipts, revenue receipts, we finished, right? What about revenue expenditure?
Yes,
Kartik,
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
what do you mean by revenue expenditure?
Ma'am, an expenditure that neither creates any assets nor
Hmm.
causes any reduction in liability is called revenue expenditure.
Okay, there also I told you few things are included related to plan and non-plan expenditure. Aishwarya, do you know what it is? Plan and non-plan?
In the planned expenditure, all the expenditures that would be that would that the government will incur will be predicted already
Will
and
be according to the
will be according to the plan.
according to the plan. Some few things are there which they need not plan. It's already decided before. That comes under non-plan expenditure. Okay. The same way, few examples I told you, right? Just let me share the screen, just 1 minute. What about this non-plan main items, non-plan expenditure? Did I discuss this? Just see. Tax revenues. We discussed tax revenue, direct tax, capital receipts. Expenditure, we discussed revenue expenditure. According to this classification, I mean, this refers to all the government expenditure which are beyond the scope of plan development. I told you that is related to plan expenditure. Then capital expenditure. Before this, did I show you that textbook to tell you the examples related to non-plan? Did I? I think no. Okay, just listen now. What all things comes under the non-plan expenditure? This is mainly related to the interest payments, defense services, subsidies, salaries, and pensions. This they need not plan much in the planning or in the budget. So it's already set up that they have to spend. That is compulsory. So in this interest payments on market loans, external loans, or from various other sources, whatever they have taken loan, that will be the largest component of non-plan expenditure. So government might have taken lot of loans from market in the sense maybe from the people, or like you know that they take some sort of savings from the people. On that they have to pay the interest. Then other one, external sources from other countries they used to take loans. So all these, if you see, constitute that is the largest one coming under the non-plan revenue expenditure. Another one, defense expenditure. There also they need to spend a lot of money, but if you reduce that defense expenditure on defense, that will create a lot of problem for the economy. So that we cannot reduce. At the same time, subsidies are there. Then some programs are there involved in according to the government. They do for the welfare of the people. So that area it can be reduced, but at the same time it cannot be reduced too much. One example they have given related to subsidies, like its subsidies percentage, if you see in 2014-15, that was 2.2 percentage, and it is reduced to 1.7 percentage. The other things like interest payments or the defense payments, expenditure on defense, those things it cannot be reduced at all. Now, next one is related to capital expenditure. What do you mean by capital expenditure? So this is again like revenue expenditure. Here, if you see capital, when we talk about that will be related to assets here. Okay. Now, why we are spending the money on money, or why when we spend money on capital, that will increase the assets of the government. So here, an expenditure that can create assets for the government. How they are creating the assets here? Equity or shares purchased by the government. Sometimes at the same time, you can see it can cause a reduction in the liabilities. How? It will reduce the liabilities. It will reduce the liabilities on the repayment of loans. At the same time, I told that sometimes the government, they used to take a lot of loans from external sources can be, or sometimes from the people. So when they repay this, what will happen? Their liabilities will be reduced. So two ways you can see. One, it can create expenditure that can create the assets. At the same time, it can reduce the liabilities of the government. Now, government, how when they buy the things, I told that when they buy the shares and all, the assets, financial assets of the government will be increased. Here also you can see plan expenditure is there, non-plan expenditure is there. The plan expenditure is the same related to the revenue expenditure, non-plan expenditure also same related to the revenue expenditure. Now, in that, few more things are there related to the.
Ma'am, can you show the previous slide?
Yes, just 1 minute. This one. Plan capital expenditure. It is relating to the central plan, central assistance. It will be always according to the whatever planning they are doing in the budget or 5-year plans or government plans. That will be a part of plan capital expenditure. Non-plan capital expenditure in the sense, the same which I told you, like defense services, subsidies of fertilizers, or the money which we are spending on for various administrative interest payments, all those things come under non-plan capital expenditure. Shall I? Okay. Now here, 2-3 important things they have given in your textbook. Just you can take this area. They are mentioning about the budget. It is not, it is different from the capital expenditure. This area is a little bit different from the capital expenditure. You can take it as a conclusion. Now, it is not a statement. It's not only a statement of receipts and expenditure. Okay, we have 5-year plans. According to that, we are taking lot of policy through which our country should develop or our country should grow. Okay, so for that purpose, we are taking lot of policies or programs here. In this, along with the budget, you can see 3 policy statements are compulsory. What is that? Policy statements along with the budget we have to submit. What is that policy statement? That is Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Okay, just underline it. You can underline that. The fiscal policy, Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Now, in that, we can see that related to this 3 important things. Medium term fiscal policy we have. Another one, fiscal policy strategy statement. These 3 things you can see along with the budget. 3 policy statements. One is Fiscal Policy and Budget Management Act. In that, medium term fiscal policy statement is there. Another one, the Fiscal Policy Strategy statement is there. One more, Macroeconomic Framework statement. So these 3 things together comes under Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act 2003. Now, what they say, first one, medium term fiscal policy statement. They say that they are preparing a target with the fiscal indicators and see to that whether the revenue expenditure can be financed through revenue receipts on a sustainable basis. So here they are aiming that revenue expenditure should be equal to revenue receipts. It should be on a continuous basis. Okay, so according to medium term, it's a medium term policy, not for a long term. Medium term policy, what do they say? They are setting some target with the help of fiscal indicators, and they are studying or they are experiencing or bringing some experiments. According to that, revenue expenditure should be financed through revenue receipts, in the sense they are not into borrowing. Whatever revenue they are getting, that should be financed for revenue expenditure. Okay, and how can they productively use this capital receipts without even though there is market borrowings are included, how productively they can use this for the country's development. Now, second one, fiscal policy strategy statement, what they say that here also, whenever we talk about fiscal policy, it is related to the budget, related to money, taxation, borrowing, all those things. Now here what they say, priorities of the government in the fiscal area, here also fiscal area is taken into consideration, and they are examining the current policies and related to the important fiscal measures, in the sense what all fiscal measures can be taken to meet the expenditure of the government. So some fiscal indicators are there, some fiscal measures are there, that we'll be discussing. There is a topic for that I'll be discussing in that particular topic. Okay, so this is a second statement. It is related to fiscal policy strategy. Next one, specially related to taxation, borrowing, all those things comes under fiscal area or fiscal policy. And the last one, macroeconomic framework as a statement. What are they doing with respect to GDP growth rate? They'll be studying what all things they can bring into for, especially for the GDP growth rate. Fiscal balance of the central government and external balance. External balance in the sense they are talking about external sector balance. So there should be balance in the growth rate. So that will be studied under the macroeconomic framework statement. So three policies they have taken as a part of Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act. Okay. Now, in this, again, when we talk about the budget, it is given that there are different types of budget what we have. The first one is related to balanced budget and unbalanced budget. There are two types of budgets, balanced budget and unbalanced budget. Balanced budget, from the word itself, we can understand what it is. Budget should be balanced. When the budget will be balanced? Tomlin? When the budget will be balanced?
Ma'am,
When there is?
ma'am, government revenue is equal to government expenditure.
When the revenue is equal to expenditure. Any case, if you see, whatever spending we have, if that is equal to our revenue, we can see that it is balanced. So here also, when we are talking about balanced budget, if the government revenue is equal to government expenditure, that kind of budget, we call it as balanced budget. You can write it down this also. Balanced budget is equal to estimated government receipts is equal to estimated government expenditure. Why do we say it is estimated? Why do we say it is estimated? What do you mean by that estimated here? Yes. No one knows. In the budget, Is it estimated or it's already happened? Budget, are we planning or already whatever happened what we are bringing? What it is?
Planning.
Planning. So before planning, what do we call for it? Estimated. We are going to estimate it. Okay, that is why estimated government receipts is equal to estimated government expenditure. So we should limit our expenditure within the receipts. If it is equal, then we can say balanced budget. Next one, unbalanced budget. If the expenditure is more or less, that kind of budget we call it as unbalanced budget. If the government expenditure is more or less than the receipts, then we call it as unbalanced budget. Now that unbalanced budget also, there are two types, surplus budget and deficit budget. Surplus budget and deficit budget. What is surplus now? What is the meaning of surplus?
More
But-
of something.
More of something or surplus, that we can take. So here surplus budget, when we say, if the revenue received by the government is more in comparison to expenditure, that budget we call it as surplus budget. So here, whatever revenue we are getting, we are not spending fully. Revenue is excess. That kind of budget, we call it as surplus budget. It is a situation where government income is excess of government expenditure. So unbalanced budget, there are two types, surplus budget and deficit budget. What do you mean by surplus budget? It is the revenue received by the government, always it will be more than the expenditure. That kind of budget, we call it as surplus budget. Or if you put it in another words, it is a situation where government expenditure is less than government revenue. Just write down that surplus budget is equal to estimated government receipts that is more than estimated government expenditure. Next one, deficit budget. Now here when we say deficit, you know that something is in short, okay, or in shortage. So expenditure made by the government, in this situation, expenditure made by the government is more than the revenue received. That kind of budget, we call it as deficit budget. So government expenditure is in excess of government income. So whenever there is more expenditure than revenue by the government, that kind of budget we call it as deficit budget. In this, expenditure will always exceeds the revenue. The formula for deficit budget or how we will get the deficit budget, always you can see estimated government receipts will be less than estimated government expenditure. Now, what do you think? Normally, in all the countries, what kind of budget we can see? Is it balanced one or unbalanced one? What kind of budget it will be? Normally, majority of the countries, what kind of budget? will be there for a country? Is it a balanced one or unbalanced one? For India's case, you say. Aparna, can you tell? What kind of budget it will be for India? Is it a balanced one or unbalanced one?
Ma'am, is it a balanced one?
Is it a balanced one? No, never. India doesn't have a balanced budget. You know, India's case, our resources are there, but at the same time, our expenditure is more. You have studied about that before liberalization, when policy, why did they introduce that liberalization? One main reason you have studied. What was that? What was that?
India
One
was
main.
not able to pay
Ah,
its exports.
Yes, India was not able to pay a large amount of money for its imports. So that shows what India is not having. India wants to spend much money, but India was not having that much money with them. So that is why they were taking loans, right? So India never had in a normal sense, if you see, almost all the countries, they will have unbalanced budget. Now, unbalanced budget also, you can see there are two types. In that, which one is applicable for India?
Deficit.
Deficit budget. Okay, so you can see India's case, if you check, we have a deficit budget where the receipts are very less compared to the expenditure. Okay. Next one, measures of government deficit. There are three different types of deficit we have. And that only the budget deficit is coming. What do you mean by budget deficit? That is excess of total expenditure, total budgeted expenditure. In the expenditure also we have two types. Which are they? What are the two types of expenditure? Basil, can you tell what are the two types of expenditure? And everyone switch on the video now. First, yes, Basil, can you tell? Anjo, Grishma, Aditya, Femina, Basil, is there any problem for you to switch on the video? Ashish, Irfan, yes, Amal, can you tell what are the two types of expenditure we have in the budget? Two types of receipts we have, two types of expenditure we have. What are the two types of expenditure? This I showed you through a flow chart. Budget is divided into two. In that, we have receipts and expenditure. In the receipts, there are two types. In the expenditure, there are two types. Amal, can you tell? What are the two types of expenditure? No. Grishma,
Revenue and capital.
revenue expenditure and the capital expenditure. Anila, can you tell what are the two types of receipts? What are the two types of receipts? Anila.
Capital receipts and revenue.
And okay, so the same thing we are bringing here. Budgetary deficit means what? Excess of total expenditure, excess of total budgeted expenditure over total budgetary receipts. So here expenditure is more than the receipts. That we call it as budget deficit. Got it, everyone? Other words, what they are telling, sum of revenue receipts and capital receipts. So here we are bringing the receipts together. We are totaling it. That is short of sum of revenue and capital expenditure. Short of in the sense it is less than the sum of revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. That we call it as budgetary deficit. So what happens here? When we total the revenue receipts and revenue capital receipts, totaling revenue receipts, both the receipts and what amount you are getting, that is short of, in a shortage of what expenditure. In that expenditure, two things are there, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. That situation we call it as budgetary deficit. Here it is, budgetary deficit is equal to total expenditure minus total receipts. So always deficit, this one will be more. Total expenditure will be more. In the budgetary deficit, the expenditure side will be more, because when we are talking about deficit here. Total expenditure minus total receipts. So expenditure will be more than the receipts. Amal, can you tell what do you mean by surplus budget? Amal, surplus budget. See, when we talk about budget, think of two things. Which are they? We have to see two things. Which are they? Hannah. When we talk about budget or budget of a family also, when we talk about, we have to see two things. Which are they?
Revenue budget and
Revenue and
capital budget.
revenue, and revenue means income. Then
Capital.
profit.
Capital budget.
Capital. How come capital there? No, simple term I am asking. You are seeing your family budget. So what all you will see? Don't think about government now. Your family budget. What two things we have to take into account? What are the two things we have to take into account? Elvina.
Expenditure
And? Correct.
and
Yes. Only expenditure part we have to see.
savings.
Revenue, how much you are getting? Yes or no? When we see my family budget, I have to see that how much I am getting. According to that only I should spend. If I am spending more, then I have to borrow, right? Same thing for the government also. When we are seeing the government budget, two things we have to take, which are they? Revenue and expenditure. Okay, in that revenue itself, I told that two differences, two different components are there. One is revenue receipt, another one is capital receipts. Expenditure side also we have two, which are they? Revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So I told you, what I wanted to ask now, what do you mean by surplus budget? Amal, can you tell? Surplus budget. Surplus. Which one is surplus?
Ma'am, it's a revenue received by the government.
Hmm.
It's more than income based expenditure.
Than the expenditure. So whenever we talk about surplus budget, revenue will be more than the expenditure. Grishma, can you tell what is deficit budget?
When expenditure is more than the revenue.
Okay, that is correct. Now, what do you mean by balanced budget? Basil, what do you mean by balanced budget? Tomlin,
Ma'am, expenditure and revenue are equal
expenditure,
and receipts are equal.
revenue, expenditure and revenue, when it is becoming equal, we call it as balanced. Okay. So here again, come back to the budget deficit, budgetary deficit. What do you mean by that? Total expenditure, budgeted expenditure. I told two components are there for expenditure. Total receipts also, two components. When receipts are in short of expenditure, that situation we call it as budget deficit. Now, in this, again, two, three points are there related to the budget deficit. First one, revenue deficit. Now, here we are talking only about the revenue deficit. What do you mean by revenue deficit? It refers to the excess of government revenue expenditure over revenue receipts. So, here, which one is less? Excess of what? What is excess here? See, you think of revenue expenditure, RE, other one, RR, revenue receipts. Okay. Now, which one is bigger in this case? Greater in this case?
Revenue expenditure.
Revenue expenditure. So, if you want, you can just write it there near. Revenue expenditure is greater than revenue receipts. That we call it as revenue deficit. How we will get that? When you reduce revenue receipts from revenue expenditure, you will be getting revenue deficit. Just mention this also. Revenue expenditure will be greater than revenue receipts. Now, revenue deficit includes what all things? That is, just listen to that particular wording, whatever is given, it is related to or it is affecting only the current income, the present year's income and expenditure of the government. Okay, so revenue deficit includes only those transactions which affect current income and expenditure of the government, the present year's income and expenditure of the government. So revenue deficit means it refers to the government excess of government expenditure compared to the government revenue or revenue receipts. How can we get that revenue deficit? When you reduce revenue receipts from revenue expenditure, we will be getting revenue deficit. What do you mean by that revenue deficit? It includes only those transactions which comes under the current income and the expenditure of the government. Next one, what are the implications of revenue deficit? If we have a deficit in the revenue part, what does it mean? That is what it is given now. First one, if the government is in having revenue deficit, it shows that government is dis-saving. What do you mean by dis-saving? Anila, this word I have told you. Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Government is not saving.
Not saving at all. At the same time, they are using the savings of other sectors of the economy to finance this part of consumption expenditure. Okay. So it shows that when we have revenue deficit, what does it mean? What is its implication? It implies that government is not saving anything. At the same time, some other sectors where they are making savings, that is used for the consumption expenditure of the government. This is the first implication. What is that? When we have revenue deficit, it means that the government is not at all saving. There is no money in the hands of government for saving. At the same time, they are using the savings of other sectors. Wherever they are making profit, some sectors they are saving. So those saving they are using for the government's consumption expenditure. That is the first implication. Second one, the government is not able to meet its expenditure. Second implication, the government is not able to meet its expenditure because it is exceeding the revenue. Government has lot of expenses and they are not able to meet that with the revenue what they are getting. So it shows the inability of the government to meet its expenditure because these expenditures speciality is what it is regular recurring. For example, you know that the expenditure made on defense, expenditure made on administration of the government, all these things are recurring. It will not stop, or once you spend it will not stop. It's not like that. Every year this should be spent. So it is recurring and it is regular, and the government is not able to meet its expenditure from the revenue whatever they are earning. Next point. Now it is a signal to government. I mean, if revenue deficit is there, it shows it's a signal to the government. Either they should reduce the expenditure or increase the receipts. What are the two ways through which government can in a better position in the matter of revenue deficit? Either they can reduce the expenditure or increase the receipts. Whether the government can reduce the expenditure? Can they reduce? Yes or no? Why we can't reduce? Why we can't reduce that? Why the government can't reduce that expenditure? What is the reason? Or one example you tell on that particular one we can't reduce the expenditure. What is that? Grishma, do you know? Louder.
Defense and administration.
What is it?
Defense and administration.
Yes, that we cannot reduce. But at the same time, what they are telling, either the government should reduce expenditure. But one point I told you where the government reduced its expenditure, where it was. One area I told you from the textbook. In one area, the government reduced its expenditure. Which is that area? It comes under non-plan expenditure. And that area, it is reduced. On one area, what is that? Karthik,
Yes, ma'am.
which area the government can reduce the expenditure?
Ma'am, subsidies.
Yes, on the subsidies, the government can reduce, and at the same time, I showed you one example. It was more before, I mean, previous year, but it is reduced to 1 point something in the next year. So that area it can reduce. So what measures, what they are telling that how can be, what measures can be taken by the government to reduce the revenue deficit? These are the two measures. This you can, sometimes they may ask this also. How can we reduce the revenue deficit? One is what? To reduce the expenditure. Other one, increase the receipts. How can we increase the receipts, Aishwarya? How can we increase the receipts? Receipt means what? Revenue. So how can we increase? Is there any chance to increase the revenue?
More exports.
More? Export. No, easy method.
Exports.
No, no, no. That will take time. Easily, if you see, you don't have money with you, but you have to increase your receipt. What to do now? As in a family also, now your expenditure is exceeding, you don't have revenue. What will do? You will go more work and then earn money, or you will do something else?
Borrow money.
Yes, same thing. Increase receipt in the sense here mainly they are talking about borrow money. Okay, that is also that is also a burden only that I'll tell you later. Okay, so it is a warning signal to the government, either you reduce the expenditure or increase receipts. Now this situation we can see that, yeah, that is the next sentence. You can see government we can borrow. That is the only way to finance its investment. Okay, otherwise, not only the investment, even for the consumption requirements, what the government should do? Borrowing. So here, in this situation, there is only one way through which the government can increase the revenue, mainly through borrowing, and that borrowing we are using it for investment and at the same time its consumption requirements. Okay. So in this situation, government will have to borrow, and that will be used not only to finance its investment, at the same time its consumption requirements. So one more period is there today. In that period, the remaining things will be discussed. More are there related to revenue deficit. Just let me take the attendance now. 1 minute. Aditya,
Present, ma'am.
Anila,
Present, ma'am.
Anju,
Present, ma'am.
Aparna,
Present, ma'am.
Atul, Basil, Femina,
Present, ma'am.
Hanna, Karthik,
Present,
Irfan,
ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Pavitra, Sharath, Shubham, Tomlin, Hadi,
Present, ma'am.
Aishwarya,
Present, ma'am.
Amal Raj,
Present, ma'am.
Ashish, Elvina,
Present, ma'am.
Grishma, Sneha, absent. Okay then. So you know about your project, right? Anything you did related to it? Now don't do. Now you have exam, I know. Did you find anything related to the project? Aishwarya, did you get anything?
I didn't start it.
Okay. Okay, then this month end, you have to show me whatever progress you have done in your project, because next month you will be getting another project. Okay. So please start doing after the exam. I've showed you the models also. So according to that, you can start preparing. Okay, everyone. And group leaders, please take care of your group members also. Just in between, you can ask whether they have started their work, what all topics they got. You can just check it. Okay. Thank you very much then. Bye.